We talked about learning by being. We talked about the challenges of putting these changes into the educational system. We talked about the competences and the use of AI, both as a challenge and opportunity, and the changes needed in the paradigms, either for the professors and for the institution. I just want to take this moment. If you want to add something by both of your presentations, or the presentation that you hear in this session, that you want to give it to our viewers, and some thoughts, some food for thoughts. For example,
perhaps,
how do you see after this session the challenges that are put in our educational system?
Yeah, perhaps something that comes to my mind looking at the different presentations is how many kind of nuances there are in even the definition of competencies. There were kind of different frameworks presented, and we also assisted to a disagreement about the definition of competencies. And I also know that some colleagues are even criticizing the very concept of competence in itself. For example, criticizing OECD for the way in which they, develop the concept. And I think that occasions like this can help us to kind of improve our shared understanding about what the competencies are, and how we can create knowledge about it, about how we can assess it, about how we can also support teachers developing it. This is kind of the main idea that I brought from participating in this meeting.
Well, the actual drama part is perhaps not our specialty. That was mainly one way. The main larger project that we are engaged in is concerns the information and data literacy, which is more larger. So this was a small part of that, and that was quite new for me. I don't know about you, Agneta, but it's not something that we usually do. So this was quite unique. Normally we do more classic intervention studies with different types of pedagogical material and stuff. So so that was new. But I think when it comes to information literacy, I suppose there is a challenge there, as we also perhaps found out, or it's perhaps not we only found out, but since these topics are quite, some of these competences that we talk about, and information literacy is one of them, is hard for adults, grown adults as well. It's not only hard for students; it's hard for everyone. So, and of course, just to have some sort of, I don't know how far we can come. Of course, it's a huge area, and how much can we load on younger students, and how easy can we start with trying to educate teenagers or 11-year-olds with this complex things. I think that is something that is not easy to decide upon, because at some point they can't grasp it in an early stage as well. So I don't know. I feel that is one thing that that I have been thinking about.
Yeah, but then if I add, I mean, I do not disagree with you. You know that basically, on the other hand, you can also change it the other way around and say that, of course, there is something you can do, however young they are. You can. It's just that you must find what is it that you can,
especially
bring to build the ground, because there's nothing that is too complex. It's just that you have to find the right level or the right activities, the right challenges to work with this. And I think a little bit that's what we are doing. What we're charting out, both what what are their skills and their knowledge? What do they think? What can they do? And then to chart out how can we support them to develop, to grow. I think these are two core questions.
Maybe just a quick comment, because Eva was mentioning also the lifelong learning issue here. It's not just students, but actually it's the possibility of anyone getting engaged in these kind of things. I was just remembering that Carlos' presentation, which actually is already far away, it was the first, but he was mentioning something like, now we are learning in the being. We've been going through everything, the doing, and now we are what he would call the being stage. I think we are all keen in this, and what you were both just mentioning, remembered this issue that Carlo put up, because we are in an age that I think everyone, really everyone, has the possibility of looking at their singularities as individuals, as person, and looking at the competence approach that was today's session here in the afternoon. It's marvelous to see that you can choose from that. And this competence approach for any age, gives you that possibility, even in a lifelong approach for maybe people that are older, have the possibility at looking at themselves, understanding what they still would like to learn, and engage in a set of competences, be them specific or transversal or soft skills, it doesn't matter. It's so nice to see this, and this possibility of really drilling this down to the competence level. It's very nice to see. And of course, an enormous amount of work we still have to struggle on to get this going. As Eva was also saying, there's such a lot we can do. And Eva, congratulations for getting the drama into place. We also saw now this last presentation of Agneta in the preschool with games, but to have drama inside, we know in Europe, STEAM has been around, the A of arts, but to bring in drama, it's like putting in place something that's also art, it's also culture, and it's nice to have your example in here.
Thank you all for being here, giving your insights of what are you doing and your research. It was a pleasure for organizing this session with you, and hope to see you next time. And look for more papers about what you think.
Thank you so much for organizing a brilliant event.
Okay.
Have a good night.
And thank you for being here with us and making it possible. Thank you all. And have a nice afternoon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.